All right, welcome to the Explainer. Today, we are diving into the world of one of the coolest lizards out there, the iguana. I mean, these guys have a third eye, they can fall from 50 feet without getting a scratch, and they can even, get this, detach their own tails. So yeah, let's get right into it.
So, here's what we've got lined up. First, we're going to meet the impressive iguana. Then, we'll take a really close look at their anatomy. After that, we'll see what a day in the life looks like for them, check out some of their seriously surprising skills, and wrap it all up with how they communicate and start their families.
Okay, let's jump right in. Section 1. Meet the impressive iguana. So, first things first, what is an iguana really? Let's get to know these large lizards.
All right, to get us started, I've got a little riddle for you. What has 3 eyes and just loves to sunbathe? Any guesses? Well, if you said the iguana, you are absolutely right. And yes, you heard me correctly, 3 eyes. We'll get back to that in just a minute, I promise.
Okay, so who are these guys? Well, iguanas are some of the biggest lizards you'll find in the Americas, and they are super adaptable. I mean, you can find them in all sorts of habitats, from rainforests all the way to deserts. They can get huge, up to 6 feet long, and get this, their crazy whip-like tail is about half of their total length. Even their name is pretty cool. It comes from the Taino word Iguana.
So, what do you actually call them? Well, a male is just a male iguana, and a female is a female iguana. A baby is a hatchling, which is cute. But here's the best part. What do you call a whole group of them? A mess. Isn't that perfect? A mess of iguanas.
All right, moving on to Section 2, the anatomy of an iguana. We're going to take a closer look at their really unique features. Seriously, every part of their body is like a perfect tool designed for survival. First up, let's talk about the dewlap. You know that flap of skin right under their chin? It's not just there to look cool. They actually use it to talk to other iguanas. And it also has this super important job of helping them control their body temperature by soaking up the sun.
And of course, you can't talk about iguanas without talking about those awesome spines, right? That row of spikes that runs all the way down their back and tail. They look amazing, for sure, but they're not just for looks. They're actually a really important defense mechanism to protect them from predators.
Okay, here's a feature you might not have even noticed before. It's called the subtympanic shield. See that big, round scale right on their cheek? It's a really key identifying feature, and it can even help you tell different species apart. Pretty neat, huh?
And here it is, the big reveal, the parietal eye. This is that third eye we were talking about at the beginning. It's right on top of their head, and it just looks like a pale little scale. Now, I can't see pictures or anything, but it's amazing at sensing light and shadow. Basically, it's a built-in alarm system for any danger coming from above. How cool is that?
So, you've got this incredible anatomy, but what does an iguana actually do all day? Let's get into their daily life. A whole lot of sun, salads, and survival.
Well, the first thing on an iguana's to-do list every morning is sunbathing. See, they're cold-blooded, which means their bodies don't make their own heat, so they have to rely on the sun to warm them up. That's what gives them the energy to do, well, everything, like find food, digest it, and just move around. And what are they getting all that energy for? To find food, of course. And as you can probably guess from this chart, iguanas are plant eaters. You could say their diet is basically one giant healthy salad. Dark leafy greens make up like 80% of what they eat.
Yeah, their whole diet is really specialized. They're all about leaves, flowers, and fruits. A big favorite out in the wild is something called the hog plum, and they're perfectly built for it. They've got sharp teeth for shredding leaves and even special bacteria in their stomachs to help break down all that tough plant stuff. And because they need the sun to get going, it makes total sense that they're diurnal, which just means they're active during the daytime.
Okay, so that's their daily routine. But iguanas have some, let's call them superpowers, that are just amazing. There is way more to these guys than meets the eye. Get ready for this. A green iguana can fall from 50 feet up. That's like a 5-story building, and land without getting hurt at all. No way, right? They actually use their sharp claws to grab onto leaves and branches as they fall, which slows them down. And they're not just good at falling, they're incredible swimmers too. If an iguana feels threatened, it'll just dive right into the water, and it can hold its breath for up to 30 minutes. Plenty of time to wait for any danger to pass. But this next trick might be the cleverest of all. It's got a fancy name, caudal autonomy. But what it means is, if a predator grabs its tail, the iguana can just let it go.
The tail detaches and the iguana can escape. The tail even keeps wiggling to distract the predator. And the best part, don't worry, it grows back over time.
So a lot of people wonder, can iguanas change color like a chameleon? And the answer is kinda yes and kinda no. Iguanas can change their shade. For example, they might get darker to soak up more sun, or turn a brighter orange to impress a mate. But, and this is the key difference, they can't just decide to blend in with a leaf like a chameleon can. It's more of an automatic reaction to things like temperature or their mood.
Okay, we've seen their anatomy and their amazing skills, but how do they actually interact with each other? Let's dive into their communication and family life in our final section. Iguanas actually have this whole secret language, but it's completely silent. It's all about body movements. A little head bob could mean, hey, what's up? Or it could mean, you better back off. When they flare out that dewlap we talked about, that's a big show of dominance. Really, their whole body posture can tell you everything, from I'm just chilling to I'm ready to fight.
When it comes to family, it's pretty fascinating. A female iguana finds the perfect sunny spot and digs a burrow. She'll lay a clutch of eggs, carefully cover them back up, and then she leaves. That's it. About 10 to 14 weeks later, the eggs hatch, and the little hatchlings have to dig their own way out. They emerge into the world completely independent from day one.
And being on their own right from the start is tough. Like this quote from the San Diego Zoo says, "On their own, iguana hatchlings face many dangers." Just think about it. Being totally self-sufficient from the moment you hatch means you have to figure out how to find food and hide from predators all by yourself. So from a third eye that keeps watch on the sky to a tail they can just leave behind in an emergency, iguanas are just true masters of survival. They are such a perfect example of an animal that is beautifully suited to its world. It really makes you wonder, right? With all these incredible features and amazing skills, what part of the iguana's world would you want to explore next? Thanks so much for joining us.